and we're joined here with Jack Bensimon, Managing Partner of ArcStone Securities Investments Corp. We're going to be learning about different ways that you can invest your money through everything that you've been building with ArcStone, and we're going to find out exactly what that is as well. Welcome.
Welcome, Brandon. Thanks for having me here.
Yeah, thank you for being here as well. I'd like to start just like that, surface level. Let's figure out who is ArcStone and what have you been creating that is unique in the marketplace.
So ArcStone Securities and Investments Corp is a north-south investment dealer. We're process of going through regulatory review because we bought a dealer in New York. We bought one also in Ontario, called it a market dealer. It's a north-south nexus, where the idea is to get registered in Ontario, BC, and Alberta.
Yeah.
On the EMD side, on the broker-dealer side, we are licensed in 33 states and looking to be another, probably add on another 17 to 18 states by the end of this year.
Yeah, it's fantastic. We're going to dive more into why that's interesting, because now we're starting to open up this realm where an investor can come through you and invest in the United States. They can invest in Canada. For those that don't understand, sometimes it's very difficult to do that. But I want to first dive in a little bit further into your pursuit for becoming an OS EMD and also to be FINRA licensed as well. How will this help you better serve your client base? I gave a little bit of it away there as well.
Yeah, so on the U.S. side, the firm has a crowdfunding platform, which allows the average Q public to put in $500 in the deal. And on the Canadian side, with the exempt worth dealer, it allows Canadian other investors to invest in their deal as well. So the north-south nexus is a very important part of ArcStone, which allows us also to cater to U.S. companies and Canadian companies in facilitating those deals. So they include mergers and acquisition activity, uplistings, it includes divestitures, it includes capital raises, and the like. So we bought the dealer in July, we penned the deal in July.
Yeah.
We started to onboard advisory clients in October, and since then we've onboarded about 5 clients, providing various advisory services, non-registrable activities. Because we're new buyers, we're going through a whole regulatory review process, both with the EMD we purchased in November, and as well as the FINRA broker dealer we purchased in July of last year.
Yeah, and I want to talk about that really quickly, more specifically on the uplisting part, because I find that very interesting. Anybody who's been investing in a lot of, whether it be in the CFC, the TSX Venture, the NEO, we're starting to see a lot of liquidity dry up, or maybe it's very focused, very hyper-focused on a certain commodity one day, but then not the next. Why is it important to maybe uplist to a NASDAQ, uplist to over in the US, where obviously there's that much more liquidity? How do you do that process, and how would someone approach you about that?
Yeah, that's a great point. So, Canadian markets being where they are, they've been in the doldrums last year. But in some of these exchanges, there's not as much liquidity as some of these issuers would like and some of investors would like. So there's a real opportunity to get some of these companies, given if they satisfy the criteria. There's a core set of 5 or 6 core criteria to uplist either on the New York Stock Exchange or certain tiers, as well as NASDAQ. What that does is it facilitates broader investor shareholder distribution, both among institutional clients, retail clients, high net worth clients in the U.S., deepens the story, deepens the narrative. It allows for a broader shareholder base. So there's a real opportunity there. And by the way, it's not just in mining, for example. It's in various other industry verticals, like, for example, technology, for example, electric vehicle space, for example, on blockchain, in cryptocurrency, where there are companies that qualify and satisfy the criteria, and we can go through the uplisting process. You're the U.S. partner that helps with that uplisting process. Former executive they used to work with the stock exchanges, both on NYSE and NASDAQ, and that's a significant enabler in making those transactions take place seamlessly. Yeah,
absolutely. And you bring up a good point, and a question I want to ask you. What is your industry of focus? Are you in specific industries? Are you industry agnostic? And are you here at PDAC right now potentially looking for some investments potentially to bring to your investors?
So we're industry agnostic. We look at the narrative, we look at the story, we look at the industry vertical. So we're involved in blockchain, we're involved in cryptocurrency, everything from payment processors to exchanges. We're involved in electric vehicles. We're involved in, like, for example, the digital label space. We're involved in psychedelics. We have a company right now that's a public company, helping them invest in other companies. It's almost like a merchant bank, investing in psychedelics and cannabis. So if we like the story, we like where the trend is going, management, quality of management is very important. We'll take it on as a client and essentially go out there and do the capital raise for them. So you very much are into what makes sense at the time and what's going to sell to investors.
Yeah, and speaking of investors, we've talked about your company and the industries that you're looking into and what you want to do as a company as well. But from an investor standpoint, what is the perfect investor? If someone's listening to this right now, they're watching this right now, do they have to be a certain type of investor? Are you looking for, hey, come one, come all? Like, what does that look like?
So the investors we're looking for, obviously high net worth, accredited investors. On the institutional side, we're onboarding family offices. These are either single family offices or multifamily offices.
Yeah.
They're typically north of about 2 to 250 million AUM. We've got a family office now. It's about $6 billion in assets under management in various different industry verticals. We also have institutional investors, for example, pension plans, endowment funds as well. So it really runs the gamut. On the crowdfunding side, obviously those are retail investors that can be accredited, not accredited, because we can run Regulation A financings or Regulation D financings to cater to those types of retail investors.
Yeah, so a very, very wide spectrum of investors, which is great to hear. Because, you never know what investors watch you, listen to this, but just in general, if there's a market to invest in it sounds like you're finding ways of being able to provide that.
Well, yeah, there's that now. The markets are becoming democratized. So what we're doing at ArcStone is leveraging that democratization of capital and allowing your average John Q. Publican, Toledo, Ohio, or Cleveland, Ohio, to invest in our deals, as opposed to actually attending a presentation, which was the case maybe 5, 7, 8 years ago. So there's a real democratization of capital markets, which are allowing the average John Q. investor to get into a broad base of deals that the others would have never had access to.
Yeah,
it's leveraging technology.
Yep, that's a good point. That's what I'd like to leave off with as well. As the investment world continues to change, and so does your company as well, what can investors be excited about coming down the pipeline from ArcStone?
So we launched Deal Pulse. Deal Pulse is our own social media platform, which we have our companies, our issuer CEOs typically that we talk to about where the industry is going, the trends, which verticals are hot right now, what's likely to take place in the next 3 to 6 months of social media. We also have our industry reports. We came in with our third wave report, which was about 2 months ago on the cannabis psychedelics industry. We came out with a report on the digital label space with one of our clients. So there's research, there's Deal Pulse, and obviously new and interesting companies that we're raising capital for, which will allow average Joe, the public, and institutions to invest and generate a very healthy ROI.
Yeah, fantastic to hear. Well, thank you so much for your time, Jack. I appreciate it very much. And for anybody who's looking for more information on your company, where can they quickly turn to?
They could turn to ArcStoneGlobalSecurities.com. You can reach out to me at Jack@ArcStoneGlobalSecurities.com. I'm happy to help them.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time.
Appreciate it.